Today we'll be looking at FuryDough. I've already seen some of the art, and it's really cute. That's a really good capsule art. It's got everything you need. It brings out that cuteness. It has a lot of contrast. It really brings out the character. You know, it looks really good. What's going on in here? I'm pretty sure the trailer will play right away, and then we'll look at the trailer first. All right. So we got a nice reverse bullet hell here. I'm liking the art a lot. Are you a duck? That's cool. These donuts are so fucking cute. So the trailer itself is definitely lacking quite a bit. We definitely want to do like some more quick cuts. It also depends on, you know, how the actual gameplay is, what we're doing in the game. But for an action game, we definitely want to be much quicker cuts. And the bullets themselves, you know, like the ones coming from the donuts are fine, but I feel like the bullets that you yourself look like you're shooting, they don't seem to stand out very much. I do love like an anti-cute game though. All right. Madness meets donuts, smash dough mixers, outgun wild foes, and brave endless mazes in a roguelike rampage. I mean, it sounds good. Smash dough mixers. Dough mixers? I don't know what a dough mixer is. Smash dough mixers. Are those the weapons? It's probably the weapons, I would assume. Avocado cannon, whisk whipper. Oh my god, look at him ride that donut. It's oh my god, it's like a big donut Voltron. He's phenomenal. Okay. So I mean, yeah, like this wish list now is kind of like the wrong font. I'd probably do it in the same font as the title, just so it's nice, big, and bold. And if you have, I don't know if Squirrel Congophus is your the way you'd like to be known as the developer, but if it is, then I would definitely slap that on up here too. Also, it's important to tell people where to wish list it. I know that like we, as developers, we're like, oh yeah, Steam, but this is a really cute game that I could see some kids trying to play, and kids can be pretty dumb, you know? They're not necessarily know where to go find something. Looks really cute, though. I'm excited to actually get into the game here. I feel like, just judging from the pictures and the trailer, I do feel like the weapons will... We'll see. We'll see. We'll get into the game. All right, so we are in FuryDough. We're looking at the main menu right now. I'm a little disappointed in the main menu just because the other art in this game so far has been, or for the marketing at least, it's been really gorgeous. And then we just have like the black screen back here. If I can just pull this up here. Like when we look at this page here where I have it, I'm going to put in a reminder here to blur all this out, editing me. This right here in the background, that's a really, like, these are really pretty images to use for a main menu. You know, you have the contrast already in the buttons and in the text, and, you know, everything's really prettily outlined. So I just don't feel like it's necessary to have such a simplistic menu. I wonder if I should read the controls first or just wing it. Might as well look at it, right? R is second ability, escape is pause, F is first ability. RF, shoot, aim. Okay. Let's check it out, huh? Let me just get right into the purchasing. This is a fine area to have the black background, right? Because we have a lot of little text in here to read. I have no money. Let's go. I feel like if you always start with no walls and pistol, I don't feel like we need to start in this menu. Although it is good if you want to like come in and read it all, I guess. But I'm sure we get to read it all later too. Or I don't know all the mechanics yet. We'll see if we earn money and then it's just a reset. Ooh. Ah. Oh my lord. So we do have some like mixels going on here. The duck, for instance, is significantly smaller pixels than the rest of the game, it would appear. Oh my. So like we're working with a pseudo low def game. Like it's meant to look low definition, but it is actually a high definition game, just so we can get these nice rotations and really like shoot well, which isn't a problem. Some people will have a problem with it. I think it's absolutely fine, but it is very important to keep that grid going when this is the case. Also, some of this text on screen here, these UIs, like destroy, pause, level, those things might also be better done in that main title font. Your main title font is a very nice, bold title text that can work in a lot of areas in your game to really help just bring that cohesion in. This text is a great body text, or the font. The font is a great body font, though, for sure. I wonder if my first weapon's supposed to be this strong. I feel like these donuts have no shot. Oh, my lord. I do feel like what would also really amplify this game, obviously donuts don't bleed, but I think it'd be really great if these things just splattered blood everywhere as you killed them. Likewise, I don't think we need such big particle effects whenever it hits the walls. At least for the basic gun, you know? Doesn't need to be so large. Oh my god, I didn't even notice the little destroy thing up there. I've just been slaughtering donuts. I am just vibing. Ah! The game itself is like the walking speed and all of that. It's pretty fast paced. It'd probably be better to just slow that. Ah! Baked. Let's try it again. Now that I know what I'm doing. Nothing available? That's fair. I didn't do the only thing I was supposed to do. Yeah, if we slow down the pace of everybody walking, it's not like the end of the world, but it just by like a tad bit. I feel like we also have a diagonal running issue. I don't have enough area to run diagonally too much. The diagonal running issue is what happens when we try to move up and we try to move to the left. Our character controller is set to move 1 pixel for each of those movements. So when you move diagonally, you're really looking to move about 0.7% of the speed that you should be trying to. I believe that's the correct calculation. So just like if you are applying both speeds, because otherwise you just move a little faster. Yeah, I saw it right there, I think. Oh my god, y'all chill. There it is. I might have overlooked that earlier. I'm trying to pay attention to so many little details. Oh, it's a donut making machine. Burn in hell, donut maker. Let me play around with that control a little bit. So we move pretty fast that way. Like we're also moving so fast, it's hard for me to really tell if we're applying that kind of diagonal adjustment. And you don't lose a lot of the action by slowing down. It just feels more fair, you know? Because if I'm moving this quickly and a donut comes at me moving as quickly as it does, I have to have insane reaction time to be able to hit that right. Probably use a little more juice on the portal there. You know, like a little light up underneath their feet. Gotta find 2 donut machines. Wah! You see right there, like I barely had time to even see that donut as I was coming down. Also, what ends up happening is the pace of the game gets slowed down just because these donuts are coming in so fast. Because they move so fast, you know? Oh my lord! Oop, I'm stuck in the wall now. Take advantage of this for a moment. You can either make the dash so that it will always get you all the way through a wall. Oh, bye-bye, duck. Oh, and then I lose half. Okay. So this does have like that is a pretty little neat progression you put in there that you just kind of... You don't entirely start over, but you do still get punished for losing. Like, there's no way this is meant to be, right? No way. And it's just like the little polishes really help make a game excel. And like the problem with the speed is that it feels like an artificial difficulty, just because it just feels unfair-ish because of how fast they move. And we can just, it's literally just like as quick as solving is just lowering the speeds and then lowering my starting weapon and maybe the other weapons, but just lowering their own capabilities. Their fire rate on this, for instance, can go down if I can't move as fast anyway. I do think a ton of blood splatter would be so fucking cute in this game. Whoop. Also, I feel like once this game gets nice and polished, this would be a really good game for mobile, just to like port it on over. I don't know what specifically you made this on, but like some engines are easier than others to port over to mobile. Yeah, like we saw that portal right there, it just made a little noise and all that. We could like have it light up more just with like a quick overlay, modulate on top of it. I can get other stuff. Ammo ignores everything but not enemies. Or a shotgun. I feel like that diagonal problem's in here, but also I'm moving so fast it's really hard to tell. Oh, they have guns too. Yeah, so you really don't need to like you really want to make sure that the rest of it feels fair, especially when they have their own guns. I was worried they were only going to be running at me, but which I should have known better. I already saw the trailer. Bye. And that loading screen could also use that title text. I feel it's a good one to use for all of your title areas. But like with all these bullets coming at you, you don't need them to be fast for it to be difficult. This is definitely something you're going to have to fix because it's just... Oh, just kidding. They definitely found out that time. Okay, so it's just a little buggy here and there on that. Oh, I'm stuck on a wall. Free me. Yeah. And you can have some donuts be fast, you know, like make it like a different class of donut that moves real quick. It's just a problem when both the character and the donuts move fast. And there's no easy way to fix the mixels. It's just something that really just kind of takes you out of the place, you know? All right, let's finally select through shot. How do I select my second ability? Do I don't know. Do I have to like click it down here? Do I push a button? I don't know. The second ability is unknown to me. Let's check out the through shot. It's interesting that sometimes sometimes they seem to think the bush is still there, and sometimes they just don't. Oh god. It is only being the sound, you know? It's just, it just needs a little more juice. Enemies suddenly run away, probably to their mom's house. Sure, let's find out what that is. Can I do a second ability now? No. I don't understand the second ability and how I get that happening. Wait, ammo ignores everything but not enemies. I don't think that actually happened. Let's try out the through shot again. Definitely not ignoring everything. Be like, you know, when you move this fast, it can be really hard to just like hit certain spots here. Let's see. Nothing. Let's try out the panic mode now. Run from me! That's cute. I like the runaway. As I'm sure you just saw there, though, some of them did still have their runaway color, I guess. What's causing that? I don't know why they turned green. Ah! Yeah, like you see these guys when they start to really bundle up. Like the speed, they don't need to have super high speed too. You can also slow down the speed of the bullet. They just come flying at you. Not necessarily a player bullet, but you want to be able to know a bullet's coming at you. I'm going to use the walls just because it's proven to be pretty difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the no walls and cheat my way through this a bit so I can try out everything. If we were like machine people, dodging these bullets would be fine. But because we have reaction time, that combined, like, we have the speed to dodge them, but because it's moving so fast, it's really hard to even comprehend that you need to dodge before it happens. Or run out of the way, depending on the situation. This can definitely be a problem when you have two of these spawners right next to each other. You might want to add like bands to spawners just so that they know not to spawn that close to each other. And it also depends again, on what engine you're using. I shouldn't give too specific advice, just because you could be in a whole different engine. It would be nice to have like indicators of where these spawners are, just because now that I've run in the wrong direction at the start, there's going to be a whole ton of these running around behind me, and now I have to come around the opposite direction. It's not something that's necessary, but you could even use it as like a one of the upgrades you can get, just because it's not necessary. Like, definitely slowing down will help make the controls feel a lot smoother. Let's read these other ones. So, always on, all enemy hits are 50% less effective because you're just that tough. Alright, that's nice. I'm sure that one's surely fine. Not a bubble bath, but it sure feels good to be untouchable. Oh, like a bubble shield? Okay. Take two abilities, use them one by one, not at the same time, don't mix it. Oh, so that's when we get to the second ability? If this is when we get the second ability, I mean, you can include it in the controls, but I wouldn't show it in the bottom of the screen. Because then, I mean, as you saw earlier, it gives you the assumption that you can take two abilities unless you read through every single ability. And the average person's going to see that this costs 60, and they don't have 60, so I don't need to know what this says. I don't think we need to focus more on the abilities. Let's take a peek at these other guns here. See how they're feeling. So I did go through and unlock almost all the weapons. I didn't handle the red chili assault rifle, but I don't really think we need to go through these step by step. I'm sure some people with a keener eye and quick math skills probably notice the balancing issues down here. I'm going to be covering that and more here in just a moment. But all of the guns really feel pretty similar and pretty unrewarding to unlock, which I was pretty worried about when I first saw the trailer, and it kind of just solidified that for me. So we're just going to move right on into the next part of the video here. Moving forward, I'll be doing things a bit differently in my conclusions. I just want to make sure that every title gets the exact same representation and treatment here. Now, there are other lists for key principles in game design, but the ones I've come across, in my opinion, are either too vague or too precise. So I'm going to be introducing my own list called the 8 things you need in order to have a really, really good game. I'm kind of workshopping the name right now. So, starting with the core loop, it is here, and the genre has proven that it can succeed. But FuryDough will require a lot of balancing to make it work and feel correct. Imagine it like a music studio, but everything there is slightly out of tune. You still have the music studio, but you have to make sure it sounds right and works right now. Moving on to direction, other than an icon in the top right, we don't really receive any indication on how we should proceed. We never really want players wondering why they're playing a game or wondering what they're supposed to be doing. Goals should always be fully presented to players. The only feedback we've really included so far is the blowback from some of the weapons, but it's really a debuff if you're going to be using blowback in a game that requires mobility to really get going. Adding some juice to the portal, different weapon feelings, some camera shake when the factories are destroyed. We want players to feel their actions as they move and interact with the world we've made for them. The current agency lives within the abilities and weapon choices of the game, but we're lacking in some classic abilities, many of which are not too difficult to implement, but we need to ensure players have enough choices to have agency over their gameplay. The weapons require a drastic rebalancing, which will definitely help with that, and also brings us to balance. Games should progress upward. A simple DPS equation would be 1 second divided by the cooldown of the attack times damage. And when applying this, we can see there's virtually no progression to the weapons, especially when you remember the blowback. The movement speed and bullets in the game feel very unfair because there's just no time to react to what you see. This lack of balance also leads to feeling like there aren't any rewards worth acquiring, which is a real shame. I was pretty excited to see how much better each weapon would be, but they simply weren't even as good as the pistol. Mobility is so important, it felt like a bad decision to not take the dodge, even if it's buggy, but instead I felt cheated out of forks whenever I was purchasing each upgrade. The controls are for the most part solid. Most players do expect their dodge to be one with their kit in these games, and at the moment, it is an option you have to choose to take. The UI in this game is mostly very clear, with the exception of the ability cooldown icons, and it would be significantly better if we had just some simple image icons to represent the abilities in place of the text, just to make it more legible and more connected. Other than that, we're only lacking in general cohesion. When people first visited the game, they saw this beautiful vector art scene, and then never again. There's a wonderful title font that you only see, again, at the title screen. And when we lose that cohesion, we lose some of our identity. And FuryDough has a fantastic identity just waiting to blossom. I really want to be immersed in this world, which is where I believe FuryDough can stand out in the field with some more techniques. Separating menu music from game music, perhaps providing a cute laid-back melody outside of the game, but then that heavy metal or high-intensity soundtrack on the inside. Some more donut-appropriate sound effects with some more variation to the noises, and maybe some inner monologue cutscenes from our main hero to tell us why we hate donuts or why we're collecting forks. Who's making these donut factories? Do donuts bleed? Not every game needs some sort of complex plot, but narratives go a long way to really selling the entire experience. And I think FuryDough really has an experience just waiting to be told. Now, let's talk about mixels. So what's a mixel? To simply put, it's when pixels in a game are different sizes. It doesn't sound too bad, but it's absolutely the most important part of any pixel game. Pixels live on a grid, and when we break that grid, it simply looks wrong. It's much more obvious when you know about mixels, but even if you didn't, your mind will likely still read the artwork as ugly or out of place. You might not even be able to inherently put your finger on what it is or why, but you just feel wrong. When scaling up pixel art, it's essential to scale by the same amount for each sprite. It's important to note that this is not an absolute rule, but one that can be broken by masters of the craft. Which isn't me. I can't really do this too well myself. I'll be completely honest with you. They tend to be incorporated in precise and highly intentional ways, through visual effects like spells or weather, or to purposefully create a feeling of offness in the world. But knowing when, why, and how comes with immense experience. It's something the rest of us have to avoid at all costs. Well, that's going to wrap up our analysis of FuryDough. My name is Jimmy. This has been Gaming Analysis, and I really look forward to seeing what FuryDough becomes. Y'all have a great day.